Welcome into the Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number 60.
60. Damn, dude. What?
What's up, Cam?
Nothing, man.
Dude, why are you so sunburned?
Because of fucking sun.
No. You don't wear sunscreen when you're out on the... were you on the boat yesterday?
Yeah, I went on the canoe because I don't have a boat anymore, and it's kind of sad.
A canoe?
I went on the canoe because I don't have a boat anymore. I went on the canoe because I don't have a fucking boat anymore. So I go on the river that I that's my river, right? It's by my house.
What river is it?
The Merrimack. And I had that boat for so long. The one I made in 2007. I got it created down in Doolittle, Missouri, and I flew up and down the river at 70 miles an hour. Awesome, jamming out the heavy metal, waving at all my buddies, flying by. And now I'm on the canoe, and all my buddies are flying by on their boats, and they fucking swamp my ass, and then I get sunburned. I need to get a boat, Andy. I'm sick of this shit. My shoulders are burning, too, from fucking paddling. Why am I paddling? I just want to hit a fucking...
Okay, but why don't you put sunscreen on?
I don't know. Because I'm doing TV tonight, and I was pale as shit, and I need to get a little bit of color. And now I have too much color, so no matter what the fuck I say tonight on TV, people are just going to be like, you're fucking sunburned.
How nasty was the river you were in?
Oh, it's not bad. It wasn't bad. It was a little bit muddy, but
Is there trash in there?
No, man.
Is it polluted?
I mean, it is a little bit. There's cars and shit.
Cars?
Yeah, there's a couple spots where the bend cuts pretty quick, and then it floods, and there'll be a fucking car, maybe a couple dead bodies here and there.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's a river, dude. It's not the Mississippi. It's the Merrimack. It's nice. It flows north. Very bizarre.
I never drove a boat out of town.
We know.
But I had a driver.
So
and he was cool.
You rented a driver for a pontoon boat.
Yeah.
That's fucking nerdy, though.
Yeah.
I should have told you right off the bat.
You told me to, dude.
I fucked up. You rent a fucking pontoon boat on a lake that is not that crowded, right? If I remember correctly.
It wasn't very crowded, no.
So you could have done that yourself. Pontoon boats are the easiest thing to drive.
Yeah, but you're like, you can't fucking drive that. I'm like,
why
not?
Now you got a guy that's
so embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. Damn, I fucked up, Andy. I'm sorry, dude. You got a driver for a fucking pontoon boat? Oh my god!
You told me to.
Fuck! Oh, I fucked up. That's horrible. He's fucking staring at your wife the whole fucking time. Oh my god, he's stealing your booze. Fuck!
Shit.
That's god awful.
Hey,
a 20-foot pontoon boat, and you hire a fucking driver. My bad, dude.
I wanted the speedboat. My wife wanted the speedboat.
Oh lord.
But I was thinking, if I drive the speedboat, like somebody's flying out, something's not good.
No, they're not. I mean,
possibly.
You putt around, dude. I get it. I get that part of it.
Dude, there are serious accidents, man, with these
see the one out the
boats.
Lake Ozarks.
I know, so that's why I'm not driving my own boat.
Well, that's why I chirped you off the fucking bat.
But you said take that on the river, so it made me think of it because you were on the river. You weren't on the lake or whatever.
No, lakes are easier to drive than rivers, dude. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No shit.
Oh, they are?
Well, yeah. Are you fucking kidding? Let me take you on the river and see if you could finagle through.
Why? Was there a heavy current where you were in the Merrimack?
Of course there's a heavy current, and the river changes every single day. Every time it floods, the way it dredges out. When you're in a boat, man, like sometimes this side of the river will be a foot deep, the other side's 10 feet deep.
But the lake doesn't change.
The lake doesn't change, but you have traffic on the lake. And if it's a lake of the Ozarks where you have fucking $1 million boats coming by and you're getting swamped left and right, don't be that dipshit. But if you're going on a semi-quiet lake, get some balls.
You told me to get a pontoon.
Get some balls and drive that fucking thing yourself.
And my wife's looking at me and she's like, "That's the boat.
Shit,
that's the boat."
Oh my! I gotta fucking.
I
owe her an apology.
Like, there's all these pimped ass boats everywhere, and I've got this. I got this silver looking like.
Oh, you nerd!
Like it's the Robert E. Lee little cruise we're going on.
I could picture you in the back like, oh god, and the guy's like really creepy, He's like looking at your wife like, how you doing?
He was like a kid. He just chills.
I don't know.
I'm like, we just
you
go
got
around
your wallet,
like a circle.
You still got your wallet and shit?
I don't know.
Holy fuck.
Anyway.
Dude, fucking drive your
own
fucking boat.
All right, so can you believe this NHL thing is happening?
It's happening, man.
Can you believe it?
Yeah. Now I can. A month ago, Andy,
I gotta just say, after what we're seeing with baseball, and I want to get your take on that.
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't see that coming?
Oh, gee, that's weird. You're going to travel around the most infected country in the world.
Go to everyone's cities.
Everyone's city.
All the players are going home at night.
What the fuck?
The home players.
Dude, the Marlins are the biggest joke in baseball. Okay, we all know that. Well, I'm not a baseball guy. I don't want to fucking beat baseball.
Of course it's the Marlins.
The fucking Marlins. Yeah. The Marlins. They're like the Generals. Like they're like the fucking. They're so god awful. They try to lose every year.
Like the Coyotes.
They're like the Coyotes. Arizona. Fuck, are they a joke too? Sorry. Love you, Clayton Keller.
Sorry. We do love Clayton Keller.
But
and
shit's
Christian
going down.
Fisher.
Yeah, you're cool, too. So the point is, they held out the testing, right? And then they were going to play the Yankees. Imagine...
Oh, my
You're
God.
the fucking Marlins, and you're fucking terrible. And also, you go to the best.
But they played the Phillies, and the Phillies are playing the Yankees.
Yeah, so they could have. Yeah, okay. So the
Phillies,
connection would have been
that
there.
game's canceled too.
I mean, Jesus.
You can't be having games canceled. This is the problem. This is where I give the NHL so much credit, and to an extent the NBA as well, because they, for whatever reason, found a way to figure this out. Baseball was embarrassing from day one.
There it is.
Okay? I mean, throughout their entire fight and their negotiation.
Fucking aired out for
Oh,
everybody.
my God. So they've got some serious issues. But to think that this wasn't going to happen, that every team can play in their home ballpark. And listen, it was nice this past weekend to be able to turn on the TV and watch baseball. I mean, here locally it was okay,
boring.
right? It was fine.
So boring.
And the television people behind the scenes who put it on,
They do a great job.
They did a hell of a job, man, making that happen.
No
that
doubt.
is not easy. Play-by-play, everybody to go along with it. So,
Andy, they're
I'll
fucking
give that some
doomed.
credit.
They're not playing. They're not going to finish the season.
But hockey, I gotta say, I didn't think they could do it.
They're fucking doing it.
Once they started the Phase 3 training camp, I thought there was a possibility it was going to happen. But then they come out with a press release and they say they tested everybody and they have 0 cases. Like all 52 people from every team heading to the hub, nobody has it. Like what?
It's crazy. And honestly, it's crazy. You know what? Fuck. I thought it was what's going to happen.
Trump's like, can we please have some more of the tests that you're giving to the hockey players?
Please, everywhere.
We want every doctor in America to have that test.
It's fucking nuts, and it's good for the NHL, man. They just sucked it up. They got deals done. They got the CBA done. They just fucking did it. And the guys are like, this sucks.
I know.
I'm going to be sexually frustrated. We all know that. You know, I mean, you're going to be so frustrated when it comes to that shit. All you're doing is looking at your fucking teammates, which at the end of this thing, if you're there for 70 days, like the Blues are going to be, they're going to want to kill each other.
Seriously.
They're going to be like, where's my fucking girl? Like,
We
where's
don't
my
want
wife?
a parade. I don't want to see these guys.
Can I see a female? Seriously, where are those females at? Can I see one, please?
You think the Blues
They're gonna be there for 70?
repeat?
Fuck, man, how can they not? What gives
how
you?
could they not?
How could they not with the team that they? No, let me. What gives you doubt? What has this
Nothing
fucking
does.
organization
Nothing
done to
does.
give you doubt for the last 2 years?
Because you know who the best player is on the team?
Oscar
Or he's
Sundqvist.
getting close to being the. Well, he's our guy.
He's fucking-
Sonny. We love Sonny.
he's a fucker.
I shouldn't say he's the best player on the team because he's not. I mean, you still have guys like O'Reilly and Tarasenko. And
Who are you
Petrin.
talking about?
But Robert Thomas, dude.
Oh fuck, I forgot
This
about him.
dude, he's playing with Bozak. I hope that's a good combination,
And
right?
Sammy Blais.
Sliding Bozak to the wing, Sammy Blais. But Robert Thomas is going to have the easiest matchups. All the top D are going to be focusing on Shen, focusing on O'Reilly.
Vladdy.
Robert Thomas just might eat up. This is technically like his 3rd season. And let me say this because no one's pointing this out. He's healthy for the first time as an NHLer, where he's entering a season, because this is like entering a different season. First year he had the ankle injury, high ankle.
Wrist,
Last
something.
year he had the wrist. He had the surgery right before training camp, or at least after the Stanley Cup final. So in that window between the final and the and training camp, he had surgery, so he wasn't healthy coming into last season. Got a little bit of a late start. He's healthy now, dude. I could see this guy absolutely blowing up, man. He's a stud.
If he stays healthy, man, he's like fuck it. The opportunities are just there for him.
So they're so deep. They're so good.
They're good.
I mean,
How could they not? Okay, that's not my point.
It just depends on how bad they
Or
want. How
they
bad
can go
they
there
want it,
and
man.
lose every fucking game and say, "Oh, we're done." I mean, anything
It's
could happen.
wide open, dude.
Anything could happen.
It's
But
wide
again,
open.
what have they done to doubt you? Nothing.
But are
But
they
you got Colorado.
are they the best team? I think they're the
They
best
could.
team. I do.
know.
I think
Well,
they are. And I know people focus on Boston, Washington, Tampa Bay,
Colorado. Don't count them out.
All those teams could win it.
There's still a question mark in a lot of those teams. Except for
Vegas
Boston.
too, maybe.
There's still a little bit of question marks in it. There's not a question mark anywhere in this organization. And I
Listen,
mean,
I see some
where?
of these rosters that have some of these defensemen that they have on the back end. I mean, the Blues have players like who people don't even know who they are, like Mikko Mikkola and Jake Waldman. These guys would be on like half the rosters.
Nico Mikkola? Dude, he's 6'7".
I know.
He's
I know.
6'7",
I know.
and he's got he's fucking humongous. He
You
doesn't
don't
make
think
mistakes.
Florida wants him in their
my
top
God,
6
of
right
course. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You still got Jake Allen too to clean up some of the mess if Jordan Bennington's not there.
Like,
I mean,
Ivan Barbashev, he's got to go home for the birth of his daughter. Okay, we'll just put in Mackenzie McCaffrey.
Fine.
Okay.
and those are guys I'm talking about, like Barbie and Sonny and fucking Sammy Blais. Like those guys they'll fucking eat you alive, man.
Oh
they
my God.
run it, dude.
Yes.
They go. They're the engine.
Yes.
fucking
So I
fun,
apologize
man.
if you're not a Blues fan,
Yeah, sorry
and
about
I
that,
get it.
dudes.
You don't want to hear all this Blues talk, but we'll be breaking it down. We'll have our Western Conference and Eastern Conference predictions, our matchups, our play-in round predictions, our analysis. We're breaking all that down.
Yeah, I'll do all the Corsi shit for you.
What is Corsi?
I don't even know. Like, I do know.
Do you know?
No, I do.
No, honestly.
No,
tell me what it is.
Oh, fuck you with this stupid-ass fucking
What is
questioning.
Corsi?
Here's the deal. All I know about Corsi is I'm glad it wasn't
you don't know,
there
actually.
when I played, because I'd be considered the worst player in the team by, like, number-wise instead of just, like, saying I was. No, it's just everything. There's a lot to it, man. It is very confusing when you have to, like, read about it, because there's just a lot of numbers and
I just
numbers
can't believe that
and
they've
shit.
been able
Yeah.
to do this and get to these hub cities, and they're going to actually pull this off. Major kudos to the
baby.
National Hockey
Let's
League.
go.
Seriously, it's crazy that they're able to do it. All right, Scott Stevens, dude.
Never heard of him.
He's okay. Let me tell you who he is
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Legend,
Yeah, okay.
Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
biggest hitter
Was
in the
he
history
soft?
of the game. Yes or no?
Was he? Fuck yeah, he was.
Yeah.
There's not even a close second. There's not even
Who
a
else?
close
Who's
second.
in the category? Who's in that category?
Okay, I'll tell you.
As a hitter.
As a hitter, I would. And, you know, Scotty Stevens is the biggest name and biggest hitter too. So even if Scotty wasn't a Hall of Famer and he hit the way he did, he'd still be the biggest hitter. Not the Stanley Cup, none of that shit. He's the biggest hitter ever to lace him up, ever.
Yeah.
Now another guy, maybe
Wendell Clark could hit.
Wendell Clark's up there, baby, right there. Wendell Clark, even guys like Rob Blake, big time hitter, man.
my
Remember
God.
Robbie Blake,
He would
fucking
catch
hip
you.
check motherfucker. Come on down. Those are the worst hits. When they get you that fat ass and you try to sneak by him, although I never really did that much after I dumped the puck in, sometimes I would, and they get you on your hip and your hips go out and you're
Rich Pilon. You ever play against Rich Pilon?
Yeah. Richie Pilon.
He'd get you too, man.
Who else was a monster? Oh, Dion Phaneuf hit you, man.
Well,
No
Dallas
fucking
Drake,
Dolly Drake.
Ryan Johnson. These guys were all like big
I'll
time.
tell you, Ryan
hitters,
Reeves
but
will hit you.
Ryan Reeves is
Tommy
great,
Wilson's
great
up
hitter.
there.
Tom Wilson.
You could chirp Ryan
Nicholas
Reeves a lot.
Cronwall.
Like, Ryan Reeves has the easiest job in the world right now. I know
Does
he
he?
listens.
Tell me.
Ryan Reeves
Yeah.
has the easiest job in the world.
Okay, why do you say that?
Because you play 10 minutes. No one looks at you. You're on a legit team, a contending team that could fucking go far. You could do whatever the hell you want. All you have to do is keep your game simple. And the hardcore factor of being a tough guy like that is out the window. That mindset of like, fuck, oh God, I gotta deal with this guy tonight. Oh, that ages you. That like fucking makes
So
you
he
just,
goes into every game just feeling free,
lollipops
no
and
concern.
such fucking A. I don't give a fuck. Who's going to do anything to me? It must be nice. Not one game I went into when I played where I was like, oh,
Well,
fuck.
who's the one guy he maybe thinks of?
Tommy Wilson. Tom
it?
Wilson. And maybe like Evander Kane, maybe.
Well, maybe because they have because there's pregame build up with both those guys.
It's just not the same. Those guys don't want to fight him. They don't go after him. He doesn't have to do anything if he doesn't want to. Sometimes Reaver just be quiet and be like, I'm just going to get the puck out of the zone. I might put somebody on their ass third period, but I'll be fucking invisible. And those guys aren't going to fucking initiate anything because I'm here. He's got the easiest fucking job in the world. And he's fucking probably making more money living in Vegas than even playing for Vegas.
You know what? And I was talking to somebody today, well-known NHL superstar out of the game. I don't want to say who it was, but
Reed Lowe.
He said, you know what? Maybe my numbers would be better if I spent less time in the box. And I'm thinking about his comment and then listening to you, what you're saying in terms of how they went into every game was a battle. And sometimes it would have been impossible for this guy to stay out of the box and all of a sudden have higher offensive numbers as a result. Like, the game was played so differently.
It comes to you, bro.
And it was your mindset. It's how you play. That was hockey, you know? It's how you played hockey.
If Reaver doesn't want to take a penalty or get into a fight all year,
Reaver's not
he
in the
doesn't
same
have
category
to.
of the guy I'm talking about, but I'm just, you know what I'm saying.
But like back then, like that shit comes to you.
Right.
You might want to take a night off, but you got two big fuck boys over there. Like, no. It's my night tonight.
Yeah.
And you're over there, so we're doing it.
All right. So Scott Stevens has been brought up on numerous of our podcasts, man, because he's a legend. Obviously, with your Devils background, we've had some former Devils on here, and so his name's been brought up. We wanted to get him on, dude. I mean, a lot of respect for how he played. This guy was a hell of a player.
Yeah.
Put up underrated offensive numbers too early in his career. People forget he not only played for the Capitals.
8 years.
He played a long time for the Capitals.
800 games.
Like 600.
600 games.
Yeah.
But he had like 520 goal seasons.
I know.
Scotty.
First round pick.
Wow, it's so weird.
So everyone talks about the hitting. This dude could play.
Yeah, but the hits are loud though. The hits solidify you, man.
I don't know about you, but like when I've asked people or when I told people, hey, we're going to get Scotty Stevens on, right away they're like, oh, you're going to ask him about Domi.
Yeah.
Because Domi made the comment about Stevens several months ago, and it got a lot of attention. It was a headline story, actually, in hockey for a good 24, 48 hours after Domi, said that Stevens was
biggest phony.
Biggest phony, would never fight him and everything. So, for the record, I did ask.
We did. You did. I made you do it.
Stevens, you didn't want to do it. Cam was so scared.
I'm such a pussy.
Cam is like looking at me, and he's like mouthing to me.
I know.
You do it.
I know.
You ask me.
Fuck.
He was so scared.
I'm a pussy.
That thing is hilarious.
I know. Well, Scotty actually.
So I asked the question.
You asked the fucking question. We give you that. You're a fucking journalist.
No, whatever.
Good for you.
I wanted you to ask it.
I'm not good at asking questions.
And
we established that.
He was very polite and just decided it's in his best interest, which
I'm
it is.
I'm surprised how he answered that, though.
Really?
I'm surprised he answered that way because you asked him and he said something to the effect of, well, guys, it kind of confused me for a second. He goes, guys, I just want to come on and do it.
Yeah, I just want to talk about my career.
I'd like, just, Scotty, we know each other. Just be like, dude, I'm not answering that, guys.
Yeah.
But he kind of went down this little thing.
I think he understood that why we asked the question. I mean, Domi made the comment about him that created headlines on our podcast.
Yeah.
So, of course, we asked. Scott Stevens, though, man, Hall of Famer, legendary player, and he's a winner, dude. This guy's a winner. Interesting stories throughout his career, though. And a lot of people out there who are going to listen, who may be Devils fans or just hockey fans in general, who want to hear this conversation with Scott Stevens, like, you're going to be like, what? Like, all this stuff went down?
A lot of drama.
Between the Blues and the Devils and just throughout his career, man. He didn't want to go to New Jersey. He wanted to stay here. They're about to buy a house, or they just did buy a house. Yeah. So crazy how this went down.
I think in Ladue, where you live.
Yeah.
But on the other side.
Probably
the rich side.
He probably is the rich side. All right. Hey, as always, this show is brought to you by CarShield and CarShield.com. Doesn't matter if you live on the rich side or the poor side.
No.
Get some protection.
Damn right.
You got to get protected if you're rich. Get protected if you're poor.
Exactly right.
And guess what? You don't have to be rich to get the protection from CarShield and CarShield.com. 800-857-2481. You should have that number memorized by now.
I do. They fixed my starter.
800-857.
Man, fuck you with this shit. Why do you do that? You have it in front of you. You can't do that to me,
man.
You
said you had it. 800-857-2481. 800-857-2481. CarShield.com. Get protected like Cam Jansen was. Use the promo code CAM. You'll save 10%.
Yeah. Yeah, save 10%. It's easy. CAM. Simple. We simplify everything just
That's
like
right.
CarShield.
You know who else simplifies it? GadgetBuyback.com and GadgetLabMobile.com. You can go to either website. Just go to GadgetBuyback.com, or better yet, write down this phone number, 877-772-8880. 877-772-8880. Good. There, you got that one down.
We're really
GadgetBuyback.com. Listen, if you are a company out there, business owner, you're handing out iPads and iPods and phones and watches and everything else, and they don't work, or they're the old model, and they're slowing you down, you're not making as much money as you could be.
Cheap.
Don't be cheap.
Fucking cheap when it comes to your business like that. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're slowing everything down.
You heard the term,
Fuck.
this is business. Well, this is business.
Yeah. These guys will take care of you.
That's right.
They'll speed up the process. You know those dirty looks? Everybody's looking at you like, this fucking thing ain't working.
Yeah. Like as you walk by.
You walk by their fucking...
Your employees want to kill you.
Fuck, you fucking cheap fuck. Right when you walk by.
Give me a new iPad.
Fuck them.
Give me a new... Hey, can you update our phones? It's been 5 years.
Louise. All you crack phone cats out there, too. Don't get me started on you. Crack phone. Get the fuck on. I'm not taking you serious. Joke. Okay. Fix that shit.
877-772-8880. Business owners, sell your old products. They will buy them back from you. Top dollar, too, man. They're not cheap. Not as cheap as you are. They will buy back top dollar. And again, now you're upgraded. You have the devices at the speed of the devices you need to make sure your business is running efficiently. Bellman.com, BEHLMANN.com. If you're looking for that pre-owned car or that new car, check it out. Buick, Cadillac, GMC on one side of the street. On the other side, the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You know, like, I always tell you about your little pink Jeep. Now you're trying to turn it around on me like I want the pink Jeep. No, you get the pink Jeep, 2-door, small wheels.
Yeah, small wheels.
Okay? AM
Smaller
radio.
the better.
AM radio only. Okay?
Small wheels. Chicks love small wheels.
Oh, yeah. But get yourself one with the big wheels, too. What are you talking about, the SRT? The X?
Yeah, I don't want big wheels on that damn thing.
No?
Dude. I want nice badass. Probably maybe 22. I want a 22-inch rims on that, blacked out. Everything blacked out. Dual exhaust, fast as shit. You can put your hockey sticks in that bad boy. You can fit 4 people in there, 5 people comfortably. Cruise down to the lake. That's what I want, baby.
All right, love it. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, one side of the street. Other side, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Check out that new Escalade. Cadillac's making a bunch of new cars. And Buick, by the way, has some nice cars, too. Yeah. It's not like you don't have to be an old man to drive a Buick
No, it's not nerdy anymore.
They're not.
Nope.
They're nice. And
reasonable price,
just
too.
Completely pimped out on the inside, too.
Yeah. T. Woods hooked that up, I think, back then.
Oh, yeah, he did.
T. Woods straightened that whole Buick shit out.
So check it out, Bellman.com, BEHLMANN.com. And don't forget, it's 2 N's, BEHLMANN.com. HockeyTrainer.com. Now, I went through the website. Kevin, Ryan, they got it all going right now. They bring the gym to you, to your house, to allow you to train to become a better hockey player. If you're a 10-year-old stud, 16-year-old stud, maybe you just got drafted into Major Junior, maybe you're an NHL draft pick. I don't know who the hell you are.
Yeah.
You've got people all over listening. You need to be in shape, and you need to be working out with somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. And you don't have to spend $1,000 a month at the gym to make it happen and pay a trainer. They are your trainer. HockeyTraining.com. Check it out. Bring the training to you into your house. If you're a hockey parent out there and you don't have time to take little Johnny to the gym because you're working all day, and then they have practice, you don't have the money to pay for a gym. You don't have to.
Little Johnny was soft last game, too, by the way.
Well, he needs to get
He needs to fucking get on.
HockeyTraining.com. Now, what we love the most about this whole new idea that we're bringing to you, we're bringing to the people right here, is what they do for the men's league player. Because if you're a men's league player and you suck, you don't have to suck. Life doesn't have to be miserable. You can be good. But you got to start training. That's why you didn't make the team as a young kid.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't make it as a young kid, because you didn't train properly. Now you can. It's never too late. I don't care if you're 25, 35, or 45.
Listen to me. All y'all, listen to me real quick. When you're playing men's league and you walk in that locker room and all the boys look at you and say, fuck, all at once.
He's not on my line.
Fuck.
Not
all
on
at
my
once.
line. Yeah.
Get your ass training.
Let's do it again.
Fuck. Oh, here you. Oh, fuck. Hi. How you doing? You could sit by me. Oh, I'm glad you fucking showed up.
Great.
Oh, 4-minute shifts. Oh, cool. Fuck you. Can't even get the puck out of the zone. Like, I don't want you out here. Start training. You want to hang out with the boys. You want to be in this nice-ass facility. You want to be around. No. You suck. Start training. Just get your groove on a little bit more strength so you can battle in the corners and things like that. God almighty. Now we'll accept you. So when you walk in the locker room now, I'm going to be like, oh, instead of fuck. I'm like, ooh.
You told me I needed wrist curls.
Oh, look at your wrists.
You said I needed wrist curls. Do people still do those?
You need to. I mean, come on. Look at those little things. Fucking wrist curls. Jeez Louise, that's one thing you need to do.
So HockeyTraining.com, getting the puck out of the zone, that's huge. It's a big part of it, and you got to be strong, and strength comes with it.
Yeah.
So check it out. I've gotten a couple private messages about these guys already, asking about them. Share it with your entire men's league team, dude. Do it virtually. Have team workouts. Get everybody on the same program. Let's go. Make yourself better. Win that championship.
Yeah, baby.
Like Scott Stevens, 3 times Stanley Cup winner. Also won a Memorial Cup, and he's just a legend.
Gold medal. He did it all.
He won a gold medal too, dude.
He's good.
He is.
He's good.
And he's with us here on the Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number 60. Here's Scotty Stevens.
How you doing, buddy? What have you been doing this whole time?
Oh, just staying at home and, doing lots of work at the house. I got a pretty good-sized yard, so planted a garden, just getting a lot of jobs done that, were sort of lingering. And my daughter got married on Saturday at the farmhouse here, which was nice. Her and her husband came from Wisconsin here to get married, so that was we had a short notice on that, but that all went very well. So done a lot going on.
What do you mean farmhouse? What do you got a farmhouse?
Yeah, pigs and cows.
What do you mean? I can picture you on a horse with no shirt on. I'll tell you that.
I used to ride. I had horses when I was a kid, but I have a barn. But we just have a couple barn cats, and we just got a new dog, a Jack Russell. He's 4 months old. Other than that, it's pretty quiet. I've got 25 acres, so it's nice and quiet. Enjoy it out here, and we're still 55 minutes to the city, which is kind of neat. So it's a good location, and it's nice and peaceful, and it's been great with this COVID going on to have some space and be able to move around and not be on top of people.
That's a lot of social distancing on 25 acres. I mean, you can spread out there. I mean, are you in New Jersey? You have 20. Can you get 25 acres in New Jersey?
Oh yeah. You just gotta go west, guys. Get away from Newark area and get away from that airport, and it's pretty nice. Everybody be surprised. It's a secret. We don't want to tell too many people how nice it is out here.
I think New York airport's actually really nice. I'd like to live that way. Jeez Louise. Yeah, Jersey's nice, man. Up north, no, I know where you're at, man. That's really cool, and still get down in the city and things like that.
So you say you're taking care of the property and doing all that. Like what really like occupies your time right now? What's your hobby away from watching hockey? Because listen, I see you break it down, and I can still hear and feel that passion you have for the game of hockey. It's like you're teaching me something every time, Scotty. Like you get like way deep into the defensive zone coverage and everything. Like I feel like I could coach an NHL team after watching you break it down, Scotty.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to educate the viewers. It's fun. It's kind of neat doing that from a desk and not really having to be on the ice and doing it. So it keeps me busy, and it's actually very close to where I live. I can make it there in 50 minutes to MLB Studios in Secaucus, New Jersey, is where we work out of the NHL Network. So that works out well. But other than enjoying watching hockey and talking hockey on the network, I love the outdoors. So I love to hunt, love to fish. And like I said, I do my whole property here. I do the hay, and I've got lawn to cut, and weeding and trees to trim and pruning bushes. There's something to do every day. I love to do firewood. I love to get my firewood. We like to have fires in the winter. I heat my barn. It does have heat, but I like to heat it. I have a wood burning stove, so we try to heat the barn with the wood burning stove. I have a little room in there with a TV and stuff, so it's good. That's what I like. I love to be outside, love the outdoors. Hockey's my passion, but like I said, hunting and fishing and being outside is something I really enjoy.
You're like a Sutter brother.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got the barn. It's heated.
You're the opposite of Scott Gomez.
Yeah. No, it's a pretty neat barn. It's got a little bit of everything. I got a workout room upstairs. I have a couple stalls downstairs for horses, which we've never put horses in, but I use it for storage. And then I have my little room where I have my mounts, and we have a wood burning stove fireplace. So it's kind of a multi-purpose barn, but it works well. It's a good place, and I enjoy being out there, and we enjoy having fires in the winter when we get some cold weather here.
I was doing my world-class research for this interview, and just watching your highlight. I could watch your highlights all day long, Scotty. Are you like Cam Jansen? Do you watch yourself on YouTube every day? Do you ever go back and watch your highlights?
Don't lie.
Sorry, Cam, I'm not with you. I don't even like watching myself on TV, like the NHL Network when they do a rerun and stuff. I don't want to watch. And no, I really don't. I don't watch any YouTube highlights. I like to watch some old games, which has been fun. And we had a few of those old games on the network with this pandemic going on. But other than that, I really don't watch a lot of myself. But I do like to watch the teams I played on and watch some games and see how they compare to this day and age. And it's interesting. The game really hasn't changed a whole lot. Yes, it's gotten faster. The red line's gone. But for the most part, still doing the same things out on the ice. And I still think you win the same way.
How many NHL GMs, Lou Lamoriello being one of them, call you, Scotty, for your input, for your feedback, asking you to watch this and that? Like, how many GMs, coaches do you talk to?
I've had a few people pick my brain on certain players or certain things, and obviously job opportunities, which is great and flattering. Certain roles with a hockey club, but for me, it happens a fair bit, and I love to talk hockey. I like to help people out, and if I can give some people some good input that helps them make a decision, I enjoy doing that. But so far, I'm enjoying the job I'm doing with the network. It gives me a lot of flexibility, and I can create my own schedule and make it work, so I have time to do things I want to do. But it gives me a lot of balance in my life, which is nice.
I'm going to kind of go back what you said last question real quick. You said the game hasn't changed much when you watch those old games in the 90s. Well, for a guy like me that came in after that 04 lockout, I look at those games and it doesn't even look real. Everybody's the hooking and clutching are just crazy, and it just seems so different than today's game.
Well, yeah, there's no question. The physicality part of the game is not quite the same, except for the playoffs, which is really mind-boggling. The playoffs is like a totally different game, and I can't say that was the way when we played or before '04. I thought there was quite a bit more physicality in regular season games, and then it ramped up into the playoffs. But that's kind of gone by the wayside. There's just not near enough hitting for my liking. Yes, the game's got more skill and the guys are allowed to do more. I agree that I think the hooking and the holding, taking that out has been great. It's allowed guys to showcase their talent and their skill level. But I still think people love watching playoff hockey and love the physical part of the game. And it's funny how important that is in the playoffs. Teams are very effective. Teams that can play that big, heavy style. And the last two teams, the Blues, the Capitals, they're two teams that can skate and get up and down the ice, and they play physical at the same time and make other teams pay the price.
Well, I think sometimes as a defenseman, when that rule change did come in '04, some of the defensemen are like, okay, because the hitting was still there. And now you don't have anybody holding you up, so you could just dump the puck in, and the defenseman would have to take that hit because there's nobody holding them up. So that's probably a little bit tough on some of the defensemen trying to adapt to that.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, it was nice to have that luxury of holding up for your partner or holding up for your goaltender. But there's a lot of times, in those days you had to position yourself right to take the hit and control the puck and eat the puck or make a play, try to beat the forecheck. But there's no question. I think the biggest thing that getting rid of the red line has, increased the speed of the game and maybe taken some of the east-west away, which made the game a little more physical. Guys had to pay a price a little more to get the red line. Nowadays, it's a little easier to get that red line. You can make one pass from your goal line to the far blue line and tip it in, and you're playing north-south, and you're on the forecheck right away. So, but overall, you watch the plays, you watch the systems. A lot of that stuff is very similar, but yes, the rules have changed, and for the most part, I think the rules have been good. I think it's good to show the skill level, but it's amazing the guys that were able to do it in the day, earlier than 2004, how they could put the numbers up, score goals with the way the game was conducted, with a lot more clutching and grab and holding up and hooking. It's amazing. You watch some of those highlights and you see these guys, there's people draped all over them. They still find a way to score. So pretty amazing.
The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview. Tracking your career, it's amazing the offensive numbers you put up early in your career, Scotty. But let's go back to before you even played junior. Were you always a physical player? Did you always love the contact? And were you just crushing kids? Were you just knocking kids out when they were 8, 9, 10 years old?
Yeah, when
Come
you
on
start
now,
doing that?
Be honest with me.
No, I don't remember doing that. I think the physical part sort of developed. I don't really remember myself, being a big hitter when I was growing up. I guess I just liked playing the game and just played. But obviously, that physical part got ramped up as I got older. I have two brothers, which probably has really helped. One's older than me by a year, one's younger by a year. So you can imagine our house, what was going on in that household. Oh, yeah. So I guess that probably brought a bit of physicality out of me at a young age and carried on into my career because we battled hard. We played hard. We played outside in the outdoor rink, and we were brothers. We got in fights and we got into each other's face in the house quite a bit. So that probably helped prepare me. And then I just realized that was the physical part kind of made me who I am. It's like, if I wasn't playing physical and doing what I do best, the other things didn't really come naturally. So it's almost like when you get away from your game, you think, I'm just going to go out there, I'm going to play more of a finesse game. It just never worked. It just didn't work for me. That wasn't who I was. But when I was in people's face playing physical and, preventing the other team from scoring, it seems like the points came from defending well and playing physical hockey. The offense came off of that.
But hitting's an art, though. And so there had to have been a time, and I know you're a middle linebacker, and I was going to ask you when you played Pee Wee Quebec, how the hell did you even stay in that tournament? Because it's obviously no hitting in there. But there had to have been a point, though, Scotty, where you're comfortable and confident enough and you have your timing down to really lay these open ice hits out. And you're hip checking guys. You do this so how did that all develop? When did you really start lining guys up?
Well, I think you got to see the whole ice. You get burnt. You sort of have to learn, some guys think they can just step up every time and make a hit or make a play, but you find out quickly that guys are pretty smart. And, if you don't have guys tracking back and backtracking with that pressure, it's hard to stand up or step up with a good solid hit. So you need good back pressure. You have to have a good vision. You have to see the play developing and realize, okay, we have numbers here. We have people back. That's going to allow me to step over and shut this play down at the blue line or make a hip check or a big open ice hit because we have numbers. So that's what you have to identify, and that's how I think I became a good hitter and doing it at the right time. It's not all the time. It has to be at the right time. You have to sort of pick your spots. Make sure you're not going to give up an odd man rush. I'm not going to step up. When I got smart, you're not going to step up and create an odd man rush or a breakaway because – you shouldn't have been standing up. You should have been backing up until you got some help from your back checker. So you have to learn that. You have to see the ice. You have to have a vision for that hit and that contact to actually happen.
You're a Hall of Famer, so, people obviously respect your game and how good you were, but do you feel like the physicality overshadowed your ability to play the game, at least especially once you got to New Jersey?
Yeah, I think so. But it doesn't bother me because I'm proud of being a physical player. I love that part of the game, and I know how important that is for your team and how disappointing it can be for the other team when you give someone a good whack on the other team. You can see that whole bench just sort of drop their chins a bit, and the guys on your bench get excited. So I know what it brought to the game, and I know what it brings to the game in this day and age right now. So I had no trouble doing that. And, there's sacrifices to be made to win, and fortunately, I had a bunch of guys that played with me, and I played with that made those sacrifices to maybe give up a bit of numbers and stats to win Stanley Cups, and that's what it takes. And we were able to do that 3 times, and each guy had a certain role. My role turned out to be later in my career to be more of a shutdown guy. We didn't score a lot of goals. We had to score off good defense and keep the other team's top players off the scoreboard. And if we did that, we'd have a great chance to win. And I think we got really good at doing that. We were one of the better teams, and we created a lot of offense from being in good defensive posture and taking away the best players on the other team.
Listen, a lot of your hits stand out because you hurt some guys. And whenever you hurt guys, people are going to have opinions. They say, hey, he's physical. Some say he's dirty. Like, where's the line? Where's the line between being physical versus being dirty, in your opinion?
I just think, playing within the rules. And I think I had 1 elbowing penalty, and someone can look it up, and I think the ref made a mistake. But actually, I was very proud of playing the game the right way, using my shoulder, leading with my shoulder as much as possible. And, I wouldn't do it any other way. I love that part of the game, and it's a game that there's no out of bounds, and it's just an awesome game to play. And I wouldn't have changed anything. I love football. There's no question. Football was, I love playing middle linebacker and playing that game, but hockey's what I dreamed about playing, and was fortunate enough to make it and have success in it.
Yeah, football's 2 X's and O's, where hockey's more free and you're in more control, in my opinion. But when some of these hits were so devastating, did you ever sit back and like, he might be dead?
Yeah, I was concerned at times. I never liked anyone to get hurt. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I was lit up a few times too, and it's hey, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But there's no question. I never wanted to hurt anybody. I just wanted to play within the rules, and I believe I did that very well. And something you have to work on, and it's kind of an art. It's not easy to do, but like I said, I really focused on keeping the elbows down, using the shoulder or the hip, and making a good clean hit when I played the game.
People are going to focus on the Kariya hit. They're going to focus on the Lindross hit for obvious reasons because it was deep in the playoffs. One was obviously during the Stanley Cup final. So when you look at those hits, though, like, how do you look back? How do you reflect on those hits specifically? I want to focus on those two specifically, Kariya and Lindross, just in terms of how the play developed.
Well, but obviously with Eric, he was cutting through the middle, and we had good back pressure, like I talked about when you guys asked me what you look for. And I believe it might have been Jay Pandolfo was on the back check on Lindross, and then my partner was up. We had a really good gap, and we had numbers, and that allowed me. I like you shoulder check and make sure it's not an odd man rush, and you're able to step up and shut the play down early, which is really important in hockey. You see teams this day and age, they want to shut plays down at the red line and the blue line. So it was an opportunity to step up and make a hit on a guy that was cutting through the middle. And when he was cutting through the middle, he had his head down, and that's how that evolved, basically. Paul Kariya, he was just sort of drifting one way, and saw me. I just saw him, and I was able to step up. Once again, you have numbers, and I stepped up and made the hit on Paul. And it was I was obviously a little concerned, but it was really actually great to see him come back. I believe it was a game we lost, and he actually scored after that hit. So I was like, well, at least he's all right. He came back and he played in a game that they had under control, and he scored a goal. And he played the next game. So, and he played after that. He played many more years after that hit.
Which hit resembles your career, do you think, in your opinion? Especially when you have grandkids, Scott, and you say, hey, you want to see what your
They're watching your videos, by the way.
Did?
Just so you know.
What's the one hit that you think kind of identifies who you were as a hitter? Not a player, but a hitter.
Well, there's no question, you guys. I could go farther back and show you some hits that were probably more impressive than like harder hits and hits that I thought, oh, shit, man, this guy – I don't know if he's going to get up. And I think the reason that we focus on the Kariya and the Lindross because it was in the playoffs. It was a rivalry. It was the time of year where everybody's watching. But like I said, there's other hits that I hit Patrick Flatley once and coming across the middle. And, just totally crushed him. He had no idea it was coming, head down. And I was like, oh, my gosh, this, when you make contact on some guys, you just But Patrick Flatley's a tough guy. Came back and he played. There was other ones too. But obviously the playoffs at that time of year are the ones that people focus on, talk about, and Philadelphia is right basically here next door, and people talk about that a lot. Obviously, that's the one that people bring up the most.
You got Danica too.
I was just gonna say.
Oh, were you saying that?
That's
Danica, you
he
flipped him
stole it from
over.
me. Oh, that was great.
Yeah,
I've never seen him get hit like that.
He was pissed
too. Oh, I know. And Dan, I respect that. He's then we played together. That was when I was with the Caps. Yeah, I remember I got him. It was just one of those hits that was just like slow motion. And, I don't think there's no way he got hurt at all. It was just, I thought the timing was well. He went up and over. It was kind of graceful. And he got right back up. And I know he was chomping at the bit and wasn't real happy about that. But yeah, that's another one. It's interesting, but
that was a different kind of hit, though.
Guys, it can, you talk about scoring goals, making big plays, and I really believe in a game, you can change the momentum in a hockey game with a big hit. You can see it. Like I said, you see your bench get all fired up. You can see the other bench's heads just sort of drop. And you sort of know that's a defining moment and a changing moment. You talk about a hit. I look at the Kozlov hit against Detroit in the Stanley Cup Finals. There's one where, once again, Niedermayer's my partner, a great skater. He had a great gap. Kozlov's coming. He's got back pressure. I take a look. I realize he's all by himself on an island. He should probably be dumping the puck in. He decides to make a move on Niedermayer, cut to the middle. Nieder sort of steers him right into me. and I pop them, and that's how they kind of happen. And it's a lot of times those hits happen when guys are trying to do a little too much, and they got their head down and they're trying to make a play out of nothing, and that's when they get hurt or get hit.
Yeah, you had a couple good ones. Sometimes the best ones are whenever you hit a guy and they blow the whistle because they were offsides. I think you did that to Domi one time. But I want to ask you, though, you're a big, strong, tough dude. Who are you nervous of? There had to have been a couple guys that forecheck hard. Maybe Lindross is one of them. You've gotten corked before, like you said. Who kind of worried you at moments?
Absolutely. I played a lot of hockey against Lindross, so I respected him, and I played pretty much every shift against him because he was an offensive weapon and very good offensive player. Yet he could get up and down the ice, and he was a big body. So you have to be ready for a guy like that because he can, especially as a defenseman, when you're going back, sometimes you're in a vulnerable position. So you've got to be ready. You got to put yourself in the right position. So he's a guy you had to be leery of. Cam Neely. You remember Cam Neely, Boston Bruins? Big
no, never heard of him,
forward.
Scotty. Never heard of him, Scotty. Come on, jeez Louise.
Cam probably has.
We're doing a podcast. I love it. That's great.
Cam Neely was another guy. But the one that the hit that I got corked on that was really, it was in the playoffs. It was against the Boston Bruins. I'm not going to tell you. I can't remember which year, but it doesn't really matter. Brian Smolinski, who's a clean player, offensive player, but takes the body. I'm coming around the net, so I pick up the puck on the right side. I'm hooking the net. I take a peek over my shoulder. Marty's standing there, so I can't see. I take a look to see that I can cut the net and start coming up the ice. Marty's in my vision. I couldn't see through Marty. I hooked the net. Next thing you know, I woke up in the trainer's room. I was like,
wow.
And had no idea how I got there. And I was told after I skated off like I was fairly normal, climbed over the bench, and they took me down to the training room. And I'm down there for a while, and Bobby Carpenter comes out of the press box, and he's wearing a suit and tie. I go, "Why aren't you dressed to play?" He goes, "Scott, remember I was scratched and I wasn't playing." So that was pretty weird. That was kind of scary. But that's, it happens. You can take all the precautionaries. Like I said, I did a check. I did a shoulder check. I peeked over my shoulder, and Smolinski was right lined up with Marty. And next thing you know, I wook up in the training room out cold.
Yeah, they probably put a Band-Aid on your head and said, "Get back out there." Back then.
Yeah, exactly. Ice pack.
Well, that was a tough decision. I did come back and play right after that, which probably was a no-no. Obviously it was in this day and age. That would have been a big no-no when you actually skate off the ice and go down into the training room and you had no idea how you got there. But, that's why it's a special game. It's a tough game, and you have to be, ready and physically prepared for this game and to win Stanley Cups and go the distance with 82 game schedule and then the playoffs. It's a grind, and that's why it's such a special game and such a amazing feat when you do win the Stanley Cup.
One more, and then I want to move on. But any of these hits that you remember that you laid on somebody, but it actually hurt you too. Like it just knocked the wind out of you, and you kind of played it off like you weren't in any pain, Scotty, but you know what? You felt it maybe just as much as the guy who was laying on the ice.
Absolutely. I can't put names, but I know what you're saying. It's like you almost like lose your breath and go, "Holy shit, I didn't know that guy was that strong or that heavy," or, it was like, whoa, like a guy like Tim Kerr. He was a beast of a guy. He would camp out, and he's a guy. I mean, you just don't realize how big and strong and how heavy some of these guys are that you run into. And you're like, wow. You go back to the bench and you're hurting a bit, and you go, geez, that guy's pretty solid. I got to remember that.
Yeah, you remember it. Exactly right, you do.
Absolutely, you remember it.
Hey, listen, we're in St. Louis, man, and I remember that year that you played for the Blues. It was an unbelievable season. I think they made the trade towards the end of the year that just basically, I mean, you guys should have fucking won the Stanley Cup. Honestly, you guys were that good. Brett Hull scores 86 goals. I think Oates had 90 assists that year. I mean, before we get into you leaving, just that season alone, like, how do you remember that? Does that stand out in your career when you consider everything you did after you left here?
Oh yeah, that was a very special year. I mean, my wife and I, we had a great time in St. Louis. It was short-lived, but incredible year. And I before I came on, I looked at some of the numbers. I could not believe that Brett Hull, what do you have, 85 or 86 goals?
86.
I mean, that's hard to fathom. And like you said, Oatsy, he probably had assists on almost all those goals. I think it was he had it was a huge number that he assisted on Brett's goals. And the season we had, Chicago had 106. We were battling them. We had 105 points. And I believe we're the top 2 teams in the league, which was pretty amazing. And then, yes, you talk about the trade, which I don't know. It was like we traded our whole second line, for Garth Butcher and Dan Quinn. And the second line was a line that could produce when the Hull and Oates line was shut down. Courtnall and Cliff Ronning and Memesso, those guys kind of came through for us. But that definitely smarted a bit. And, fortunately, we were able to get by Detroit, but we lost, I believe it was to Minnesota. Just didn't have as much depth and scoring power that we had. So that was tough. That was a tough year. But let me tell you, I was so excited to see the fans able to witness the Stanley Cup in St. Louis. And because I have a lot of respect for the fans in St. Louis, they're always behind you. They didn't get down on you. I know times where we came off after a bad first period. We could have been down 2-0, 3-0, and they're positive. You're going off the ice and you're ready to take a licking from the fans, and they're positive and upbeat that you can do it. You can get back in the game, and that's something I'll never forget.
They're scared of you.
Pretty special.
No, it was amazing. Brett Hull had 86. I think the second leading goal scorer on the team had like 27.
Imagine that Stanley Cup final with Pittsburgh and St. Louis, if that was the case, with the firepower.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so then you leave here. So the Blues signed Shanahan, for people who don't remember, who was a restricted free agent. And the compensation the Blues were offering was Rod Brindamore and Curtis Joseph. Did you even how shocked were you when you got the phone call? Who called you to say, hey, listen, they just awarded you to New Jersey? And what was your reaction, Scotty, when you found out?
I was, pretty shocked. I mean, we just basically we rented Peter Zezel's house for the season. And then we bought a home in Ladue, I believe, which is a great little town in St. Louis.
Andy lives there. Andy lives there. He lives in a poor part, though.
So we got into that house there. We were just getting organized in the summer, and then we were off for this training camp, and this all came down. And it was like, and Shanahan was there with me at the time. We were both on Team Canada. It was like a little awkward, obviously very awkward. Because I knew Brendan a bit too. And so it was a weird time. And I'm thinking, holy shit, man, they offered Joseph and Brindamore. I said, man, that's a lot. I mean, those guys are really good up and young players. I mean, they should be good with that. But Lou Lamoriello had a different plan, and he obviously did a lot of homework and put together a pretty good argument. And we were off to New Jersey.
Cam and Strick Podcast here for our boy Dan Bellman with Bellman.com.
Yeah, baby.
You need some new wheels? Why not get a Cadillac, a Buick, a GMC? Yeah. Head out to Troy today. And again, don't forget about Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram right across the street.
No doubt.
Right there in Troy, Missouri. Visit them online. Check out their new selection, the pre-owned selection, the best service you will find anywhere in the country. Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the summer.
Yeah.
Now back to the interview.
Well, it took a while, actually, right, Scotty? And did you know Lou before this? Have you guys met? I mean, were you on any sort of have any relationship with him leading into this? And did you know much about the organization over there? I mean, it wasn't in a great spot, I believe, and at that time. I mean, Kirk Muller walked away. I don't know what happened with that. So. How was it leading into going over to Jersey and actually taking a little bit of time to do it?
Well, one thing, when you're a hockey player, you just get up and go. And yes, it was tough. It was a little devastating and probably harder on my wife, who, we had a 16-month-old, and my son was born in St. Louis. So we had a couple young kids. And so it was definitely probably harder on her. As a hockey player, you just want to play hockey and you sort of move on. Obviously, I was disappointed to have to move on from St. Louis. I was expecting to spend a few more years there. I believe I signed a 4-year deal. But and I had not talked to Lou, or I didn't know anything about Lou Lamoriello before that. Obviously, we played against New Jersey quite a bit when I was in Washington before I went to St. Louis. So he would have saw me play a lot, and obviously he wanted me for his team, and obviously, like I said, won the arbitration hearing. So we were off to New Jersey, and it's, you look back on it and you think to yourself, and I kind of believe this, everything happens for a reason. And, unfortunately I left St. Louis, but went on to New Jersey, and we're fortunate to win 3 Stanley Cups, and it was a pretty special time of my career, obviously.
You would have won 4 here, Scotty, just so you know. You would have won
true.
4.
No, we did the math.
You would have won. We did do the math. You would have won 4 Stanley Cups if you stayed. But how long did it take you to say, okay, I'm going to go? Because didn't you at first say, I'm not going? Like, tell me how that went down. Like, did you think there was any chance that the award would be reversed and you'd be able to stay? Like, was your agent trying to do some work behind the scenes? Like, did you tell Lou I'm not coming? Because it took you several weeks for you to report, right?
Yeah, you're right. You just jogged my memory. I don't have a great memory, and I never have. But yeah, I do think we did drag our feet, and we were trying to stall and do something to be able to stay in St. Louis. And I believe that happened for a couple weeks, and then we kind of ironed things out with the Devils, and then we were on our way. And there's really nothing you could do. And like I said, you're a hockey player, you play hockey, and there's no question. I was looking forward to staying in St. Louis and playing another 3 or 4 years there. But those happen. It was a freaky thing. It was like, you got to be kidding me, especially when you just get organized. You sell your house, sold our house in Maryland, and we got out of Peter's rental and got our own house. But it happens, and you cope with it, and you move on. And but I'm still grateful for that one special year in St. Louis.
Yeah, no, it's a business for sure, and you learned that quickly at a young age. Even though you had been in the league for like forever. I mean, you played over 600 games in Washington. People forget that, how long you were in Washington. But
8 years.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. But then the Blues signed you to an offer sheet, and I know there may have been some shadiness going on behind the scenes. At least Lou thought so. But did you think you were coming back to St. Louis, and were you hoping to come back to St. Louis when you signed that offer sheet?
Well, yeah. I mean, of course I do. I knew St. Louis. I knew it was about, so it made sense to sign there. It was, like I said, had a great year. And, if it happens, it happens. And St. Louis was great to me. They treated me very well and tried to get me back there. And I think it just came down to Lou wasn't going to let it happen. We won a bit, and he was like, wasn't going to let me go there, and decide to match. And that's the way it came down. But like I said, at that point, you've played a long time in New Jersey. I liked it there. We had success there. I liked how he played. And if I went to St. Louis, I knew St. Louis. I knew some people there, loved the city. And if that happened, that would be great too. So it was a win-win situation for myself and my family. And Lou decided to match, and we stayed on in New Jersey. And I believe we won another cup after that.
People don't know how responsible you are for just driving up the salaries for defensemen too, right? I mean, right? I mean, were you aware of that at the time? I mean, do you still get cards and flowers from Ray Bourque and Chris Chelios and these guys who obviously reap the benefits after you signed your big deal here?
No, I don't. It's disappointing. Actually, I don't really like the limelight, but the more you look back, and I did look at salaries for some reason, because we were talking with this another time. I forget who I was talking with, but I think I was with Brian Burke, and I was on in Toronto when we were talking about this. And I look back, I'm like, oh yeah, that was kind of a changing moment. And but yeah, so it was good. It was good for hockey. Obviously, there was a lot of room, for salaries to go up there. And St. Louis ended up, and they really wanted to win and win a Stanley Cup and do good things in St. Louis. And we did for that 1 year. We did a tremendous job and had a great year. So, but there's no question. Yeah, I look back at that and say, yeah, that was a pretty big increase for a defenseman. I think the highest guy before I signed that deal was making $600,000 or $500,000.
Wow, I made that.
Hey, what should we know about Lou Lamoriello? I mean, obviously Cam knows him well. he came on our podcast recently.
Yeah, he did, Scotty. He
And
came on the
and
podcast.
He loves you. I mean, listen, you should be you could be his boss in New York right now if you wanted to, the way he talks about you, Scotty. But, what is it about him? Like, how did he impact your career? Because, on the outside looking in, he did crazy stuff, like firing coaches when you guys were, at the top of the standings and, towards the end of the year. I mean, people who aren't in the mix there with New Jersey will probably never understand. But how do you explain this guy in terms of why he's been so successful?
Well, he gets a lot of respect. The way he does things, he's a guy that loves to win. It's about winning, which I appreciate because I love to win and I hate to lose. And Lou doesn't play the game, but that's the way he thinks. He wants to win. He wants to win every game. He wants to win the Stanley Cup every year, and that's how he approaches it. He expects the best from himself and from the people that work for him, and from right down to the players. And he'll do anything to win. Whatever little edge he can help to win a Stanley Cup, he will do. And I respect that immensely. Obviously very smart, understands the game, has a great pulse on his hockey team, what's going on in the dressing room. You alluded to it earlier about making a coaching change when we were in a very good position, playing very good hockey, and Fatorik was out, Robinson was in, caught everybody off guard, but he just didn't like the direction the team was going and made that change, which takes a lot of nerve. So he's a guy that works extremely hard. Let me tell you, Cam, that he's at the rink. He's there before everybody comes down with a coffee. He's always communicating with the coaches and the players. He's around. He's visible. He cares, and that goes a long ways. And he'll do anything he can to take the distraction off the players. And sometimes it's maybe to a fault because the new NHL, we want players out there. We want the players doing this and doing that, but I think he tried to keep us low profile and keep our focus on the ice and win Stanley Cups and win hockey games. And we did that pretty well for a long period of time with Lou.
Yeah, you did. Scotty, I would go in the locker room and get there extra early because I knew he would be the first one there, and he would see me first, and it would look like that I'm just that disciplined. I had a game. I had a game plan
You're
the whole time.
You're a smart guy, Cam.
I had a game plan the whole time. He shakes hands with everybody in the morning. So
no, yeah. I know he was there, and he communicated, and he looked you in the eyes. It's like, guys are ready. Guys were like, I better make sure I look after myself and do all the right things here, and I look good. I'm clean shaved. I'm ready to go because, like you said, Cam, he's there before you, and he could show up anywhere in that dressing room, in the arena. It was like we actually were saying, like, Lou was so visible that we thought there was two of them. We're like, because we didn't know how he could show up where he showed up. And it was crazy. Amazing. But he was a rink rat, loved the game, always there, works hard, first one to the rink, last one to leave the rink, and that's what Lou was. And that's why he's so successful. He just loves the game and loves to put a winning team on the ice.
Look, you had such a great career, Scotty, and you're a winner. You're a Hall of Famer. I think you were a 13-time All-Star, but you never won the Norris, and you came close on a couple of occasions. Does that bother you? Do you think about that? Did it bother you when you were playing? Like, how badly did you want to win that award?
Well, you know what? It's funny. You always try to be the best at your position, and I always wanted to be the best at my position and at my job, and that was my goal. But obviously, there's great players out there, and it's not easy to do. And I guess I do look back once in a while. And the one year I had really good numbers. I forget what I think I led my team in scoring. I had 70-something points. I was plus 53 or something ridiculous, and I thought that was my year against Ray. I forget the year, but that might have been the year I thought I would maybe break through. But it's hard to knock out the champion, and Ray Bork was a heck of a defenseman, and he won that award a lot. But I think I would probably maybe think about it a little bit more if I didn't have success winning Stanley Cups with my teammates and the New Jersey Devils. I guess you probably would have looked at that more because if you didn't have success winning Stanley Cups. So I think the Cups, there's no question, they're more important than a Norris Trophy. So I guess that takes the focus off not winning the Norris Trophy in my career.
Yeah, who cares about the Norris?
Well, he won a Conn Smythe
in 2000, and he was crushing guys.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Yes.
Hey, listen, Tie Domi came on here. We probably saw the comments that he made. Said that I think he called you the biggest phony to ever play, Scotty. Now, I would never associate you with being a phony. I don't think most people would. What's your response to that? Do you have a response? Like, what's the beef between you and Tie Domi? How far back does that go?
No, I just want to talk about, like you guys said, this is about my career, and that's the focus I want to go on, and how great a game this is, and that's what I want to remember. That's where I want to stay on that track, and just talk about how great this game is and how hard it is to have success and play this game. And I respect anyone that plays this game and plays it hard, and because it's not an easy game to succeed in and to make the National Hockey League. So I'm just going to stay with the focus here on what we were talking about earlier.
Okay, I got you, Scott. We got you, Scotty. We got you on that.
I hope you appreciate.
He was half joking anyway.
Yeah,
you guys had beef. We didn't mean to put you on the spot like that, Scotty.
I blame that on Cam, by the way.
What? Yeah. Okay. We'll blame it on Ty.
Hey, but people forget you played with Al McInnes Jr., by the way. Like, did you know he would go on to have the career that he had and be a Hall of Famer? How good was he in junior?
He was really good. He was kind of a little different than me. He was really offensive, big slap shot. I was a little more defensive. And we kind of had to, Al kind of had to work on his defensive game, and I sort of had to hone my offensive game a bit to be the players we are now. But Al was a very smart guy, and he had great offensive abilities, and he was a smart guy, and he realized he had to defend better and play defense, which he did. He turned out to be a tremendous defenseman, but he, like I said, he was a little more offense-minded than I was. I was a little more defense, but we had to do kind of the same things to make it to the National Hockey League and had success. And he had an unbelievable career.
Andy Strickland and Cam Jansen here for you for GadgetBuyback.com. Yeah. Gadget Lab, they got a store here locally if you're in St. Louis, 5541 Telegraph Road. Here's the deal. You got an old phone, maybe a cracked tablet. Maybe it's perfect, but it's a little bit older. Turn it in right now. www.gadgetbuyback.com. Upgrade your devices, phones, computers, watches.
Anything.
Doesn't have to be Apple either.
No.
Get those tablets turned in. Again, www.gadgetbuyback.com, 877-772-8880. Now back to the interview.
Yeah. Well, he could probably still play. I know he got dinged up, got hit in his eye.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, I mean, he was just so solid and played, logged 30 minutes. But how do you feel? I know you crushed a lot of guys, and I know you have taken a lot of hits as well, but and had some head injuries. How are you feeling overall with all that?
I'm doing pretty good. I think I am. I think I'm doing pretty well. I've kind of haven't been working out as much as I'd like to, but I'm very active outside. So, but overall, knock on wood, I feel pretty good for, playing the way I played for how many years I played. You're sort of always waiting for something to happen, but I think just staying active is very important, and that makes a big difference. Being active, taking care of yourself, eating well, and eating right is important, and that's what I'm trying to do. And hopefully I won't have any major surgeries or anything with hips or knees. Like hips, guys have a lot of hip issues and knees. So hopefully I can stay healthy. But I really believe staying active is the most important thing, and having a good diet that can save you a lot of problems, I think, later on in life.
Yeah, a couple more, Scotty, then we'll let you go, and we appreciate your time. But what was your workout routine as a player? I mean, you were so strong and just hulking big. Like, were you ahead of your time when it comes to the off-ice training? I mean, or was it genetics? Like, describe how hard you worked off the ice.
I guess, I think I was a little ahead of the curve with my diet, eating actually at a young age, like 14, 15, 16. I was working for my parents, owned a business, and it was about an hour from home. So I'd get up early, would go to work up there and deliver paper products to beaches and stores, and then I'd drive all the way home and I'd go work out. And so I think just discipline and, looking after yourself, taking care of yourself, doing whatever it takes to get bigger, stronger, faster. I went to the gym a lot. And like I said, I was eating very healthy at a young age, which wasn't really common then at 14, 15, 16 to have a really quality diet. I also remember riding my bike with my equipment to go to power skating. Bridget Wolf ran a She was a figure skater. She ran a power skating course over at Conestoga College, where there's a rink, and that's why I would do that once or twice a week. And so I just really wanted to make it to the National Hockey League. It was my dream, and I was not, I just made sure I did everything right and worked at it, and was in the gym and was trying to get better as a skater, whatever I needed to do to get better as a hockey player, so I could make the National Hockey League. I think I did that, and I'm glad I have no regrets. You hear a lot of guys that you hear after saying, "Geez, if I would have did this or I would have did that." Skilled guys, talented guys that just never really were committed to the game of hockey, and guys that regret that. So that's something I think I was all in. I wanted to do whatever it took to play hockey, and I was fortunate to make it. But I think I did that very well.
All right, you also dabbled in coaching. I know with New Jersey, then most recently with the Minnesota Wild. But you got a lot going on there on that 25 acres there. So you have other hobbies that keeps you busy. Could you ever see yourself getting back behind the bench? And, honestly, did you enjoy it? Do you like working with the modern-day player, the kid nowadays? Do you feel like you were able to communicate with them and get your point across with the modern-day NHL player? How would you define that experience?
Yeah, I think so. I enjoyed it. It was, it was fun. I enjoyed teaching. I always remember Larry Robinson, the assistant coach that ran the defense, unbelievable person. His teaching, what he did to help us become better defensemen and better players. And I said to myself, I want to try that when I'm done playing this game. I want to try to be a coach of the defense. And I did that, and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. And it was fun to see guys improve and guys get better. It's a big commitment. It's a different commitment. We don't see that as players, Cam, what goes into coaching and assistant coaches, what they do before we get to the rink and how long they're at the rink. And I have no trouble working hard and doing that. It is a big commitment and a big sacrifice, but I did have fun with it, and I enjoyed it very much doing that. But I'll see. I never say no. I never close the door. I'm pretty content with the NHL Network and spending time outside, hunting, fishing, whatever it takes, cutting down trees, splitting firewood. I enjoy all those outdoor activities and
with
jobs.
With your bare hands?
With your bare hands. Just
I do.
Taking trees down.
It's a great workout. It's a great workout. And I was thinking about doing that the other day. I was splitting wood. I said, this is guys in the NHL should be doing this. Is a really good full body workout. And I enjoy it. It's fun smashing that wood, get rid of a lot of stress and anger.
I saw Marco Scandella was doing that. You may have worked with him in Minnesota, but he
yes,
was,
I did.
Yeah, he was doing that the other day.
It's Rocky
just
training.
Really?
Splitting wood with an axe. Good old country boy.
I was thinking when I was doing that, during this, I said to my wife, I said, this would be a great thing to show how, you can get a great workout outside with a maul, a big axe, and splitting wood. It's a great workout, and that's great that Marco is doing that because it works every part of your body.
Yeah, he's pretty jacked too.
Yeah, he is.
Not your jack, but
he's always in good shape, Marco.
Less.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Scotty.
Appreciate it,
man.
buddy.
Really appreciate you giving us the time, and keep up the great work on TV too. By the way, you do a great job on TV.
Okay, thanks, guys. Enjoyed talking to you.
Right on, Scotty.
Appreciate it.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That was Scotty Stevens. I love how he says, man, listen, he loved being a physical player. He's not hiding from that.
Why would he hide from that?
Shouldn't hide from it. Well, because he hurt some guys,
Remember what I asked him? Did you ever think he killed anybody?
Well, I think he said yes.
He did say yes.
Yeah.
How can you not think Paul Kariya was alive? How can you think he was alive?
But then Kariya came back.
Like he wasn't alive.
It was like a miracle. Could you imagine in today's game, Paul Kariya laying on the ice dead after a major hit, and then all of a sudden getting up, coming back, and not only coming back, but then scoring one of the most memorable goals ever in Stanley Cup final history against Marty Brodeur.
Dude, down the wing. His typical down the wing, 100 miles an hour.
And I don't think Paul Kariya likes that either.
Black toques, wide stride, head down, top shelf, fucking signature slap shot.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even, he said he didn't even, remember we talked to Paulie about that. I think he said, I don't even remember it.
Yeah.
He doesn't even remember that shit. God, he got fucking rocked, man. And like
seriously rocked. I thought the, for that era, like I'll use the word clean just from that era of hockey. Like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that it should have been clean because it was late. The hit on Kariya was late.
Yeah.
I mean, he had already dished the puck or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Puck wasn't on his stick. But in that time, there were hits like that, and it wasn't considered late. Am I right about that?
Yeah, that was borderline.
It was borderline.
It was still borderline.
Still borderline.
Did he get a penalty on that? I don't think so.
I don't think so. The Lindross hit.
No, that's your head up your ass. No.
Yeah, but I thought he just got all elbow in the head.
I think
the principal point of contact was head.
It
in
was
that hit.
It was, but the play was right there, and it was kind of discombobulated with three other guys, kind of like, and so like he didn't necessarily target. It's just the way Lindross kind of came into that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But the Kariya one, you could, he's like passing the puck off, and he's just looking the other way, and you're just like,
imagine how amped up he was too. Scotty Stevens, like the adrenaline, like a Stanley Cup final.
Oh yeah, it's horrifying.
You just see the opportunity.
He was the one guy I didn't go near in training camp, man. Like honestly,
you really didn't, did you?
I didn't. I was fucking psychotic in that training camps. I was young.
Were you fighting in camp?
Oh, what?
Okay, well you said, but you wouldn't go near him. He wasn't going to fight you anyway.
I just
right?
wouldn't go near him, man. And even on the hit where I dumped the puck in, and he go,
you wouldn't hit him.
I wouldn't hit him.
No,
isn't that weird? And that's fucking stupid to do. That was a stupid decision on my part.
Why? Because you're trying to make an impression.
I'm trying to make a fucking team.
Yeah.
I'm running Colin White. I'm running Ken Danico. I'm running over Jim McKenzie. I picked up Jim McKenzie and I launched him to the dasher. And I'm surprised he didn't tomahawk me in the back of my head. Ask him about that. I just wouldn't go near Scotty. I don't know why. I don't know.
The captain.
He
Stanley Cup winner.
Had head injuries at the time.
He's one of the best defensemen in the game at that time.
Yeah, head injury. I just was scared. If I heard,
and he was older at that time too, right?
Yeah, he was
like north of 35, I think.
He was done. He was done in his. He had a weird helmet on. I remember he couldn't see. Yeah, he had a weird concussion helmet on.
This guy is so smart though. When you hear him break down defensive play,
he's great.
Like he's it's like next level stuff.
No, it just comes to him. Like he's done everything. Every single play that's ever existed, he's been through that firsthand. Sticking lanes, trying to hit
wood.
He's a fucking mountain man.
This guy's a mountain man.
He's wrestling bears out in
New Jersey.
He's not even scared of bears. I'm like, any bears come up to you? Because bears are fucking huge in
He'd
Jersey.
fight a bear.
He's like, yeah, I just go out there and smack him around a little bit and kick him in the ass.
But like some of the other hits, like if you watch his hit highlight reel, and it's heavy. I mean, it's one of the best things I've watched.
No, it gives me a headache.
Does it?
It gives me sometimes when I watch UFC fights and stuff, and they're fucking.
That gives you a headache too.
Sometimes it gives me a headache, dude. It's weird. Like I'm like, oh, it just kind of goes back.
Did you see those two girls fighting the other day, and one of them thought the 10-second warning was
she got knocked out. It was stupid.
She didn't get knocked out, but she got punched, like drilled, like right in the face.
Yeah. She thought
that she just took it.
Yeah. They're fucking tough.
Oh my god,
a lot tougher than you.
Probably so.
Probably so.
Well,
probably
they are. I'm not going to argue about that. Tougher than you too.
Fuck yeah. That's why we'll get into this next time about how tough I think these UFC chicks are, and all these weightlifter guys. I think they're fucking tough. Yeah. Those girls would knock you the fuck out.
No doubt.
With a kick, with a punch, with anything.
All right, that was Scotty Stevens. Listen, we really appreciate him coming on with us, man. He's a legendary player in the history of the National Hockey League, and we wanted to get him on because there's so much that we've talked about that
everybody brings him up.
His name has
been everywhere.
So, he is a stud. You know who else is a stud? Car Shield.
Yeah, they are.
You want to be a stud? Make sure you're taken care of, man. You got to have that protection.
I know.
You can't be a stud without having protection.
I know. I do have protection. I am a stud.
800-857-2481, carshield.com. As we've told you several times now, mention the promo code CAM. Mm-hmm. It's embarrassing, but it'll save you 10%.
Andy?
Promo
code Andy?
It'll save you 10%.
They're like Andy who?
So do it. Carshield.com. And, again, a deductible may apply. 800-857-2481. GadgetBuyback.com. If you're a owner, make sure you're running your business in the most efficient way possible to make sure you're generating the most money possible.
Yeah.
Don't have equipment, don't have systems, don't have computers, don't have phones that are slowing you down. 877-772-8880. Don't be slowed down.
No.
877-772-8880. GadgetBuyback.com. They do have a store here in St. Louis. If you're listening in the St. Louis area, in Oakville, check out the website, GadgetLabMobile.com. You got a crack phone, crack screen, whatever it is. They'll fix it while you wait.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Fix that shit.
You have no excuse.
Fix that shit.
Just get over there.
Like, no one takes you serious.
GadgetLabMobile.com. That's the website for that. Or GadgetBuyback.com. Again, the phone number 877-772-8880. Bellman.com. New, pre-owned, whatever it is. Hook it up. BEHLMANN.com. Located in Troy. Cadillac, Buick, GMC on one side of the street. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram right on the other side. Again, in Troy. Check out their website, Bellman.com. The best service you will get anywhere.
Absolutely.
In this country. I can tell you that right now.
Going in that bad boy.
They don't have any what?
Fucking 10 swinging dicks coming out and creeping the shit out. Like, they just go right for your wife and like, I'm the one buying the car. Psychos.
Okay. They don't have any of that.
No.
Hockeytraining.com. If you're a young stud, if you're just a young beginner, you want to get stronger, make sure you learn how to train properly. Do it with people who know what they're doing. Hockeytraining.com. Ask for our boy Kevin. Ask for Ryan. These guys will set you up, dude, and exactly what you need. Located in London, Ontario, man. They're like good Canadian boys. They've
good old Canadian boys.
Hooked up a bunch of Canadians. We're bringing it down here into the States now. So a lot of players and people who you've heard of, big-time names, have gone through hockeytraining.com. Don't be left on the sideline. Don't be left on the bench.
Don't get chirped when you walk into a men's league team because you're the shittiest player.
If you're a men's league player, you can train like a hockey player. You never trained. That's why you never played at a high level.
There it is.
Okay? You could have, but you didn't train properly. Now we're giving you an opportunity to make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Get your entire team on board. What are you doing? Don't wait. And again, we need people to support our sponsors.
Absolutely. Yeah, always support the sponsors, guys. You want to keep this ball rolling like this. They're all great people, and they all work their asses off, and we work our asses off as well.
Yes.
So you got to help us out with that and support all these sponsors,
yes,
guys.
hockeytraining.com. So check them out online. Easy to navigate through that website. And, of course, cope24.com, COPE24.com. Changing our parenting experience. Our girl, Renee. We got a big event coming up in November. We'll tell you about that as we move along and get closer. This has been the Cam and Strick Podcast. I'm Andy Strickland. That's Cam Jansen. We thank Scott Stevens for coming on. And as always, appreciate you, the listener, and all our great sponsors. Until next time, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Cam and Strick Pod.